Welcome to episode 7 of Wells Words. I'm here today with our CEO, Mark Wells, and we're going to talk about what separates PUI. But first, Mark, how are you doing today?
I'm very good. Thanks for the interview, Chase. How are you?
Yeah, it's doing great. It's always a pleasure getting to pick your brain. So, our question for today is what exactly sets PUI apart and makes them a leader in mobile IoT devices?
All right, good question. Thank you. Well, we've been at it for 8 or 9 years, and one thing that's been consistent all the way along is our slogan has been mobile IoT simplified. And the the thought behind that is that nobody comes to IoT with everything, and we want to make it easy for them to implement their solution, whether they're a startup company or whether they're a enterprise company that's been around for 100 years. You know, we've noticed that it's hard to get these solutions done, and by providing only just the hardware, it's really not enough to get them successful with it with 100% certainty. So we make sure we have all the pieces. The main thing, of course, is the hardware and the firmware, especially the firmware part of it, because it has to work reliably. And we specialize in making sure that it's reliable not only when it goes out the door, but once it's out on the network. And to do that, we have a very strong infrastructure. We do a thing called OTA, which stands for over-the-air programming, which means we help the customer keep abreast of any changes in the network, and we're able to help them to update the firmware to make sure that that device keeps working properly out on the network. The other thing is that there's many other parts. So for instance, part of that over-the-air programming is the infrastructure behind it. So there's got to be a tool there, and sometimes we use it, but sometimes our customers have hundreds of engineers and they want to do the programming themselves. They want to keep the firmware. They want to keep the settings updated on their own schedule. So we let them have access to that. There's the connectivity aspect, and we provide customers global connectivity with many carriers. 8 of them are connected to our network directly, which roam into 200 carriers worldwide. So we can provide them the ubiquity across all the platforms that are out there in all the countries, and security, of course, and encryption and authentication. And also we have basic end user applications. So if they need to get to market, even if they have dreams to have their own application, they can use ours to start off, and they can evolve it from that point on. So we provide a kind of a la carte, one-stop shopping for anybody who wants to do IoT, whether it's a startup or enterprise player, like I say. And later they can change it out if they want to do their own parts and just buy the hardware from us. But we can get them out of the gate quickly and successfully. And we find that early success is the key to these programs. So we have a wide range of customers who are operating at various levels of solution with us. And those are in telematics, trucks, local and long haul, in equipment tracking, a lot of rental equipment, and in connected car, providing recovery of cars and other CAN bus connectivity solutions for knowing what your car's engine's doing and things like that. So we want to do more verticals in IoT. There are more mobile verticals, and we'd love to have customers for these verticals to keep on growing our business, which has been going gangbusters. Even during this pandemic, we've been growing. So it's all good, and we've been enduring the supply chain problems that have been affecting everybody, but still growing nonetheless. So we'll be lucky to and happy to get out of this one day and do better with everybody in the industry to not have to worry about the supply chain stuff. But it'll be, and everything will be back to normal, and it'll seem easy, right?
Yeah, that's definitely the goal. Thank you so much for talking to us. It seems like the big things that I gathered from that was really good reliability for the products and it seems like all this testing, all this work is always put into, like you said, serve any type of customer, whether that's startup, to a larger business, to maybe a Southern California company, all the way to different geographies, like you're saying, which is incredible.
Yeah, yeah, no, we are good in that we're set up to flexibly be able to handle customers from 200 units a month up to 20,000 units a month in the same manner. It's we call it from the 80s. They had a term, mass customization, and we have hundreds of customers, and it's all handled by computers. So it gets programmed with the right firmware, the right settings, the right accessories, right batteries, right labeling, all off of the same station. You just queue up the device on the computer and for activation and loading with the firmware, and the way it goes. And it doesn't matter which customer it is, comes off of the same system. So it's a highly efficient system to address the whole range of the market, because there is a lot of different types of customers out there.
Yeah, that's perfect. Well, thank you so much for talking to us today, Mark. And everyone out there, please be sure to follow our page to stay tuned for the next episode of Wells Words. Thank you, Mark.
Thanks, Chase. Look forward to the next one.
Alrighty.
Take care.